What is good, y'all? Welcome back. Another week, another day, another dollar. How we doing, J Money? How you doing?
I'm good. How you living, Killer Cam?
Good. I'm out here living the nomad life. Before we get into it, shout out to all the listeners. Thank you guys for coming back for yet another episode of us, talking all the bullshit that we
Literally.
see. Quite literally. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. But, let's get into it. We got a lot of things that happened this past weekend. A lot of things. And for starters, I saw the MTV Movie Awards, which I don't know about you, but I remember growing up watching that, and I feel like it's no longer the it thing. It's not like what everyone's tuning into. But I tuned in. I caught a couple clips.
I was just gonna say, I don't know when the last time I've turned into any award show, honestly. I remember back in the day, in high school, on Twitter, everybody was tuned in. You had your phone open so that you could also be tuned in on Twitter. And it's just not talked about. I don't know where the buzz is lost. I don't know what happened.
And in terms of MTV Movie Awards, I remember when it was the year of The Notebook, and Rachel McAdams and Ryan Gosling remade the rain kiss on that thing. And then there was another one. Was there the fight? There was, I don't know, they have Best Fight, which apparently Maddie and Cassie from Euphoria won this year. It's just hysterical. And
that's hilarious. So that's actually a pretty good fight to have won. That is.
It really was, because when Maddie goes, "This bitch needs to be put down," I felt that in my soul.
And see, I don't even watch Euphoria, but I know about the fights strictly from TikTok. Those sounds have literally gone off. So that's how I know, I know that has to have some influence.
She had she goes, "This bitch needs to be put down." And she went full Latina gang, which I saw happen. She ran to the stairs, took off her little heels, and was going crazy. Honestly, they definitely deserve that as Best Fight. Because, listen, it's gotta be, I think it's the most iconic one we've seen in a minute.
I will say that I don't know, I'm trying to think. What were the other categories? I'm trying to think what would have been not the other categories, the other nominations for that category. Because I can't even think of
I'm looking it up.
A big fight that comes to mind.
I'm looking it up. Keep going.
Other than maybe
which one?
Reality TV, and I don't even watch that, but clips of it, Real Housewives or something. But
oh my God, there's so many iconic Real Housewives.
Yeah, that wouldn't be movie awards though. I can't. Nothing comes to mind for
Wait, I'm looking it up.
Iconic fight.
Best show, breakthrough, best hero. Oh my God, where is it? Best fight. Okay. Ryan Reynolds and Free Guy. Oh, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire and Tom Holland and Spider-Man No Way Home. That's a pretty good one. But it's not really a fight because they're friends. That wasn't a legit
actual fight.
It was just a fight scene, right? Scarlett Johansson and Black Widow, Aaron Reed, Free Guy, Simu Liu. It's so funny. These are all Marvel movies minus
and then
Euphoria.
There's
Euphoria. These two girls just going at
honestly,
it on
they probably don't compare to that fight at all. They probably won by landslide.
It's funny because I just actually was watching the Variety interview between Zendaya and Andrew Garfield. They did the actors on actors. Really interesting ones to watch. I love watching all those. And it was so cool because Zendaya just put it perfectly. She's it's become one of those sport-like moments where people are tuning in Sunday at 9 p.m. And everyone's talking about it on Twitter, almost the same way we do for sports. Yeah. But it's crazy with how many streaming services have changed the landscape of TV shows. Because that doesn't happen anymore. That whole oh, we're all tuning in at the same time to tweet about this. I feel we just don't see that very often anymore.
It definitely has become less of a thing. But I think that there's those few shows that really generate that much buzz that people are Euphoria, Power.
Succession, I feel but Succession, and they do episodes weekly.
Yeah, it's just the non streaming series that don't come out a full series.
Insecure. Oh my God, Insecure.
Oh yeah,
I remember,
yeah.
I remember I had to stay off of the.
So you wouldn't get any spoilers.
I couldn't because like I Sundays. I really don't catch shows the day they premiere. That's pretty hard for me, just because like I don't know timing. But like yeah, all those shows exactly, and it's like such a phenomenon that we only see with very few shows, and it's so fun that Euphoria is one of them. Because I remember when that fight scene went down, like Twitter was off the fucking wall. Like everyone was talking about it. It was one of the funniest things.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch because I have no clue, like, honestly, what everyone talks about, but like everybody on my timeline was talking about it. So I'm like, okay, maybe I need to tune in. Because that's the same way I was with Insecure. Like, I didn't
Really?
like catch on the wave early on, and then I like binge watched it. But I was like, all right, enough people were talking about it. Like, I might as well.
Yeah, you got to tune in.
And I actually really ended up liking it. So I'm like, okay, because I'm not a big TV person, so
Okay.
it really has.
I'm
to be
such
like
a big TV
good.
person. I like
good-
listen to watch. I gotta watch everything, and it's funny because I was the same way with Insecure, and I got really into it later. You know the one I'm waiting to start, Harlem. I've heard Harlem's really
I have
good.
heard that that's really good.
So that one's on my list next. But I am a TV person. I think the cool thing about Euphoria is I don't know. I'm more geeky when it comes to just like production and visuals and cinematography. I love like kind of learning a lot about that. So Euphoria is such a fun show that like showcases the best of the best. Like I'm pretty sure they got the original Kodak film video camera made to produce this series this past season.
I
So
remember
like
you and C talking about that. What shoot
Yeah.
were we on?
I can't remember, but
I think it was
we
South
were
Carolina. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was because we
Yes.
were taking some film photos. Exactly. So, yeah, very geeked out on that front, and like the writing's pretty cool, and like Zendaya is just fucking incredible. Like
At
her
everything.
episode, there is this one episode. I don't think I had to watch it in pieces because it was almost triggering how on point. Because it was, I mean, it was funny because everyone talked shit about this season because they were like, "Oh, it's getting away from the storyline. It's da 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 da." Because the whole storyline was about Zendaya, her character's journey through addiction, right? But I thought it was so cool. We're getting on a Euphoria tangent. We have so many other things to talk about, but I could talk all day. But it was so cool because there's a culminating point. Like it's like after the first 4 episodes of the season, like there's nothing about Zendaya, but all of a sudden, everything that we've been watching in those first 4 episodes almost just like fades to the back. It almost fades to the back, and what's happening to Zendaya comes to the front because it just shows you how trivial some things that are happening in your life can be compared to what is happening to others. And it thought it was such an interesting take on really like visually showing the concept of empathy and how like we almost forget about that because we get so stuck in our own issues that we're not fully paying attention to what someone else might be going through. So I thought it was such a cool way to like, again, show this topic to kids, right? Because there's a lot of like high school, college kids that are watching this,
Right.
and can be like a really great learning experience. I hope people took away what I took from that because I think a lot of people in the beginning were like so surface level about it, like, oh, we're not talking about this, we're not talking about that. But when you get to that episode and you start seeing everything just fade back, and then like her problems come to the front, it makes a lot of sense why they did it the way they did it.
Well,
So
if our listeners are listening and watch Euphoria, maybe they'll go back and rewatch that because that's a huge part. That might have went over their head, like
It's
just thinking
something-
about.
It's crazy because I mean, I took some classes on like creative and like music writing when I was in college. And like all our stuff was always about psychologically breaking down whatever it was. And now I still do that in my daily life, which is kind of crazy. Freaks me out sometimes because it's like I still have that college
Production
mind.
genius. That's how your wheels are turning up there. That's what's going on.
Listen, we're getting into scripted things at some point in life. Just watch.
Keep calm, wait on it.
Exactly. And then kind of going back to MTV Movie Awards. Do you watch Selling Sunset? I like reality TV. I like
I
mindless
don't.
things.
I
Which
don't
Selling
watch
Sunset
reality
is,
TV.
girl.
Which season though? I know there's a couple different like cities that they're like highlighting.
They just started Tampa, and I haven't started Tampa, but I was just talking about the original in LA.
Oh,
Basically,
okay.
there was this whole drama because this one character, Christine, or not character, the person, she's an actual person, but it
In
is
real
pretty
life.
scripted. It's a pretty scripted show, in my opinion, like a scripted reality show, like almost like The Hills, which is actually the same producer. It's
So then
funny
it probably
enough.
is.
Yeah, it definitely is. But anyways, like she wasn't invited, and there was like a whole thing because
Do they know
apparently she
why?
had been. I think she had been talking about things she wasn't supposed to per her contract with Netflix or whoever it is whoever the production company is. And so like they didn't invite her to MTV. That's what they're saying, but it could also be like a whole thing just to make a show.
Publicity
Reality TV is
stunt.
all about, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been watching Beverly Hills, Real Housewives. Oh, God, I could go on for days. And I am so team Garcelle. So Garcelle, who hosts The View, I think it's The View, right? It's not The Real. I forget. I'm pretty sure it's The
No.
View.
Yeah, it's probably the real because The View is. I mean, The View because The Real is. I know the 4 women. I don't remember all their names.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Garcelle's one of them, exactly. So, and I'm so team Garcelle. Like, she's been fighting all these bitches. Like, this past season, everyone's coming at her. I'm like, I'm team Garcelle. If anyone asks me, don't come at me for saying that because Garcelle is one of the best characters or people on that show. But you know, I could go all down this reality TV tangent.
I need to get into a reality TV, like find the one that's good for me. Cause it's like you said, it's like mindless. Like it's one of those things where like you don't really have to like pay attention to every single thing that's going on, but like it can be playing in the background. You still might get a kick out of it. Those are the types of things I need in my life. I get
Exactly. I get you. You get like stressed, right? But like, for me, I was moving this past weekend, so I'm packing up everything. I'm stressed. I just put it on the background, and it was so nice. Like it was a great thing. And then like when the tea starts dropping and someone starts fighting, you just stop.
Then you
tune in. You go, oh. Remember that TikTok effect where it was like the big nose or the big ears?
Oh yes.
Like
when you get nosy and it's like when somebody's fighting, it's like.
That's me with Real Housewives when I'm packing. And it was great. It was phenomenal. And talking about packing, moving sucks. I just moved. I'm a nomad living at home right now.
Honestly, adulting sucks. I mean, moving is probably a part of adulting, but
oh yeah.
How is that? How do you think that's going to be? You like moving back in with your parents for a little bit?
It sucks, but it's nice. I mean, to be fair, I mean, like I've spent 6 years not being here, so like I haven't gotten. Like in those 6 years, I get a few weeks of the year to spend with time with family. So I think, you know, while it's definitely an adjustment, it's only a few months I'm doing it, but it's nice to actually be able to, you know, spend time and not just like be working all the time.
Something you can embrace.
Exactly. Embracing it. COVID taught us all a shift in priorities, right? Family is now something that, not that I didn't value before, but like I didn't like appreciate it enough, if that
you
makes
don't
sense.
think of like the time. It's like we take it for granted almost.
I know. Well, I mean, speaking of adulting on your end, I heard someone took a little spontaneous trip. Where are you at right now, Jay?
Yeah, I mean, it's giving. You see the vibes. But honestly, I really just feel like I felt like I needed like a break. Like not completely from life. Like I'm still out here working, but just a different change in scenery. I had a flight credit that I had to use before the time ran out and went to check for another trip and was like, oh shoot, like I have to use this or I'm going to lose the money. And flights were dirt cheap. I was like, hey, I'm out of here. Peace. Later to my mom, like, I'm going to Miami to work for the week. Sorry.
I was about to ask you where you at. You on South Beach? So,
yeah.
So Jay, what are you getting into?
Right on Collins Ave.
What are you getting into outside of working? Because let's be real, our listeners know that you're not just sitting there and working all day.
Okay, everyone's been giving me a hard time because when I say I'm coming out here to work, they're like, you're lying. I'm like, no, for real. I really have been chilling. Now, we did go to this really cute place called Sexy Fish, found it on TikTok.
Oh.
Now, let's get into it because there's a lot of like places to eat, things to do as a date, like whatever on TikTok. TikTok girlies be lying. I've gone to a couple of those places and they're like super cute on the inside. They definitely bring the vibes and the food is just not it. Like, sorry. Y'all got to give us some type of background info when we go into these things. Like, I need to know. Like, I'm going here to take cute pictures, not to eat. Get a cocktail and roll out.
Well, that's exactly, I feel like what TikTok is like. They give you the vibes. They're giving you the places for vibes. I don't know if they're giving you the places for food.
Yeah.
Because Miami's got so much good food.
And that's what I will say. So this place was like an Asian restaurant. I'm a huge Asian foodie. Like, that's probably my favorite type of cuisine. But it was like mermaid style. And whoever is in charge or did the designing on the inside knew the assignment. Like, they did what they had to do. Like, I don't know. I'm going to have to show get some pictures to show y'all for our listeners because, like, the vibes were truly there. Like, the workers had on head to toe, like, sea-themed outfits. Like, yeah, it was insane. And the food
They had the theme
matched.
right.
Yeah, they did everything right. 10 out of 10, everything. Service, oh my gosh. My cousin had on a tank top. Our waitress came over with a shawl and was like, you look like you're cold. And like put on a shawl. I was like, yep.
I've never seen or heard of that happening at a restaurant.
ever. I was like, yep, this
That's
is the
10 out of
place.
10 service. That's 10 out of 10 service. That's 10 out of 10
Yeah,
service.
this is the
No,
place.
listen, at the end, like, was the food like decent? Like, I understand if it's not like the best.
No,
But
the food was actually 10 out of 10.
oh,
We
okay,
did
that
this
was
little
good.
like
Okay.
not four course, but like you could choose like different tapas, or like different small plates. And every single thing I got was good. Like we
Okay.
had some yellowtail sashimi, some kimchi fried
Okay.
rice, salmon teriyaki. Like, whoo, I'm getting hungry again just thinking about it. It was bomb. So
See, okay, you gotta do the food TikTok, restaurant TikTok.
I'm gonna have to because
but
I'm
you're
gonna try to
have
get the vibes and the food. Like, don't
Thank
send me
you.
anywhere where the food is nasty. I'm gonna be so
No.
mad. That's the thing. I will say that's not even just TikTok though, because there's a lot of places on Instagram, even back at home, and I'm not going to throw nobody under the bus because like I want to see everybody win. But the food looks real good, and it's like all these different creative things, and then you go and try, and it's like this is
None of that.
subpar at best. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's
the
something about
most
social media.
disappointing. I know
It looks
that
good, but it's just not giving what it was supposed to give.
is that not like the greatest like example of what social media is? Like what
Literally,
is it?
the
A
highlight reel.
metaphor. Like it's like everything looks good, but do it taste
Literally.
good? That's the question everyone's got to answer.
Literally.
But, hey, I love a spontaneous Miami trip. I'm very jealous. I'm just 4 hours north of you in Orlando with my family. So we're in Florida. We're in the same state.
We're
here.
I was about to say, are we? No, I think we might be closer when we're at home. I was about to say, are we closer right now? But no. But we probably have the same weather, so
Yes. Yeah. Well,
enjoying the
it's
vibes.
raining here. It looks like it's like about to be a hurricane outside. So I don't know.
God.
Oh, there goes my light. Oh, we're back. Listen, this is the part of adulting when you're moving, the fun parts.
This is the
but
reality. This is not
the
a highlight reel. This
reality.
is the reality.
You're getting to see the full reality, the not Instagram version, the reality version today.
The real.
I know, exactly. And wait, speaking of right before we got on this, we saw what's trending on Twitter. Nick Cannon's having another child.
Insane.
How many kids does
How many?
he have?
I was about to say, how many? I'm about to look that up. How many does he have?
Look it up, because I don't know. I
okay,
think he
so
had like
this-
2 or 3 kids last year too.
This recent article says 7 kids, 4 baby mamas. But I feel like it's way more than that though. That's crazy.
There's,
part.
and
Either
it's
way, he's expecting his 8th child.
funny. Okay. And it's
But
funny
it's just the timing, because like
Right?
8 kids is not wow. I mean, like depending on what your preference is, but like it's the timing. Like all them kids are the same age.
Scott our producer made a good comment right before. It was like, how do you have enough time to spend with each one? That's hard. Like,
You don't.
I can't. Yeah, that's difficult. Like, I could not imagine and just raising 8 kids. That's hard. And like, I'm terrified of raising one, so I can't even like think about 8.
8. Yeah, it's insane.
No, that's insane.
I saw someone that tweeted and they were like, Nick Cannon needs to be talking to whoever is in charge of these gas prices, because the mouthpiece that he has on him to be able to convince all these different women to keep having kids with him, like he has to be doing something right. Like we need him as some type of ambassador or something for something, because like I don't know what he's saying, what he's talking about, what he's doing, but hey, all power to him. I hope he's taking care of all of them. All the kids feel the same shared love.
I know.
No lack of resources for that, but he's crazy though. He's actually crazy for that. I can't even.
That's wild. That's
all power to him.
Congrats.
Yeah.
I mean, like, do your thing. I just could not imagine. That was crazy to think about. I mean, listen. This weekend had a lot. It served a lot, but it also served a lot on the court. We got to see a lot of. Let's talk about what the things we're here to talk about.
It's been a lot going on.
It's been a lot going on.
A whole lot.
Yesterday, Derek Fisher was officially out as the Sparks head coach. And to be honest, I've been expecting it for a while.
I was just going to say, did this come as a surprise to you?
No. I think they were prepping for this. I mean, I thought it was going to happen before the season started. You lose Candace, which is your star player. You start trying to rebuild without her. And it was weird because I think there was even a discrepancy on playing time when she was in LA. Like she wasn't on the floor for final minutes and final plays. Like things were a little weird. Like you could tell, I don't know. So I was interested to see how this transition goes. But they're really lucky because they have interim head coach Fred Williams, who was the head coach for Liz when she was in Dallas. And a lot of the players really love Fred. So I feel like they're still in good hands, but this Derek Fisher mess does not surprise me by one bit.
I will say it's just a little bit crazy because this is the second head coach like mid-season.
Mm.
that the teams have like done away with, even like in Indiana. So that's the only part that is like that I kind of like raise an eyebrow at because I'm
Mhm.
like you said, like if you were expecting it, like or preparing for it, at least like preseason. I
The
don't know that
Indiana one
trans.
was crazy. Yeah, that one
Yeah,
was shocking because she'd only been there, I think, a year. This was her second year.
yeah.
Um,
Those mid season moves are difficult. Like
I just think teams are like tired of waiting in terms of like because like again, LA has a great roster. There's
they do.
no
We always talk
reason.
about how much talent they have.
There's no reason they should be at the bottom of the standings. And I understand why they're in a rush to win now. I also think, you couldn't get it done with some of the star players you had, like then maybe it's just not gonna happen. So you gotta switch it up. And this was Derek Fisher's first W head coaching position. He was NBA prior. I don't know how much experience he had in the women's space. So like, it is a different game. And I think for
Definitely.
him,
And different coaching style too.
and different coaching style. Everything's like fully different. I can't speak to how it was within the locker room, but I can say that, it's understandable that maybe it just wasn't the right fit in terms of, transitioning into the W. It's not an easy thing. It's funny. I think it's easier to from a coaching perspective, just to transition from if you were a player in the WNBA to coaching in the NBA, but not if you were a player in the
Playing the
NBA to
NBA to
coaching
coaching
in
the
the W.
W.
Two holistically different games. But that's what I think the value that so many of these coaches, Becky before she joined Vegas,
Yep.
Chrissy Tolliver now in Dallas, now in Dallas. So many of these players provide to an NBA roster because an NBA coaching sideline. Sorry about that. Because they have a way more team and oriented game style, right? Where it's getting everyone involved. And that is such a value that like we're seeing. Look at the Warriors. The Warriors have played a wonderful team style and executed. I mean, for years, that's how Steve Kerr has really, I
Been so
think,
successful.
been so successful in terms of getting players like Jordan Poole. I mean, Jordan Poole's a star now, so that's not even a good example anymore. But Gary Payton, the second, or Gary Payton Jr. The guys like that understanding their positions,
Role
right,
players,
and
yeah.
then getting everyone involved because in today's NBA, it's very difficult to do that. And so again, with the value a WNBA player, former player, it provides. Like I think it's greater. Like I think that transition to me it makes more sense than like an NBA player
definitely.
trying to come because like Derek Fisher. I mean, I know he played under. Who was the head coach for the Lakers when what's his name? Patrick, the fucking dude from Miami. Why can't I think of his name right now? Like I'll look it up. I'm blanking right now. Don't hate me, basketball head that hoop heads on here. Listen, my brain's a little fried, but so I know he played under them but like even back then, I mean, it was still a pretty ISO based 2v2, like 1v1 style play, right? So like that's what he knows. That's what he has known. I mean, coming from the NBA. So I don't know if that necessarily like in terms of almost switching mindsets made sense. So like
That
listen, at
translate,
the end
yeah.
exactly. And so at the end of the day, like you got to move on. And I think Fred is going to be a great coach for this team just because so many players have messed with him, like in terms of like his coaching style, everything he's done in the past. Like, a lot of people were even mad he got fired from Dallas when he did. So I'm excited that he gets another chance. And I honestly think it's going to be like a testing ground to see if he's going to be their permanent head coach. Because it sounds like they're keeping him for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I always am interested in knowing like when they make these interim like head coach decisions, is it with that in mind or just sort of kind of
Mm-hmm.
like for it to be easier transition, especially during these like mid-season
Yeah.
changes, like is it for an easier transition just until they can figure something else out? Or is it like we're picking this person with hopes of like you said, like a testing like trial period
Yeah.
for them to become the permanent head coach?
Interesting. Yeah. And then, I mean, do you think there's another option out there that like the Sparks could potentially, look at?
Well, I will say I was a little bit not surprised or like that I didn't like the choice that they made, but I know LT, like Coach Trammell,
Mm-hmm.
has been like interviewing for other head coaching positions like in the off season. So I also thought of that as another option. But
Yeah.
like I don't know. I doubt that they probably go from like someone else on their coaching staff interim and then like getting rid of him and then having someone else from their coaching staff come in. I don't know.
But
though.
no, I don't, it's not, it wouldn't shock me. I mean, I think teams have done that before. we've seen it before, especially because sometimes the interim coaches, not like I'm not speaking this specific example, but I think in other situations, they're not fully interested in being head coaches,
Yeah.
and that's okay. Like they're good in the positions they're in, and
Right.
they, from maybe personal standpoints, whatever that may be. So I wouldn't be shocked if they do reopen. And if anything else, especially like something we've talked about lately, like the W is moving toward more women coaches. Like it's so different than what it was 3-4 years ago even. I mean, we see I can't even think of Noelle, well, Marianne's out now, so she doesn't. Sandy Brondello, Becky, Tanisha Wright, that's 4. Who else? I'm trying to think of all the women
Mm,
coaches. Oh, Phoenix, Vanessa. I mean, that's almost half the league. I think it
yeah.
is about half the league that has women head coaches. Um, I'm trying to think of like I'm just making sure I'm not leaving anyone out, but I think I got everyone. Yeah, because it's the rest of them. It's Kurt, Tebow, uh, James Wade, now Fred. That's 4. Who am I missing? I can't like I don't.
Um,
Oh no, and then
Vicky.
Vicky is she's in Dallas, so that
Yeah.
is 6. It's no,
That's
we're
literally half the
moving
league. Yeah.
exactly. So we're moving toward more women, and I
Oh
think.
wait, and then did you say Cheryl Reeve with
Oh my
Minnesota?
God, Cheryl! Yeah,
Yeah.
so 7. God, it's funny when you like see it out in front of you. You obviously know all, but then when
Yeah, I
you,
was
like,
gonna
are
say
translating,
that's
I'm
why
like,
I don't even try to think off the top of my head because like my brain is mush. So I'm not even
My
gonna
brain
try
is
to
mush
give
at the
y'all
time. No, exactly. So no, same. And so exactly. Listen, I wouldn't be shocked, and I think it would be a good move. Honestly, I'm interested to see because I think a lot of these women-run programs are doing really well. All around, and I think it's because those women understand what the women that are playing are
Yeah,
going through, and it's the
exactly.
same. It's when I mean that is what I mean, like the same of we're not getting big money. We're still like having to live and raise children. We're playing overseas 70% of the year. Like all those little things that like very few people on the planet could
Understand.
ever understand.
Yep.
Like these women head coaches do. So I understand. I would get like that transition being something. So I wouldn't count it out. LT potentially being in LA maybe next year, starting next year, or a woman at a head coaching position. But I think they're in a good place with Fred
They're
this year, and
definitely
I'm
in good hands
excited.
this year.
Yeah, for sure. And one of the coolest things, I mean, what just happened? We just had a trade like today.
Yeah, AD with the move to Atlanta. I'm like
She
that.
going home.
That definitely surprised me. Like
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously we don't know what goes on behind closed doors, but
Yeah.
that one came out of nowhere. Although I think it's going to be a good move for her. I mean, with Tiffany Hayes injured,
Yep.
they could definitely utilize her. So I'm super excited to see. And then of course it's her first season back and being healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm super excited to see.
Definitely. No, definitely. And I don't think she was getting a lot of playing time in New
She
York, even.
wasn't.
I don't think they were utilizing her the way they could. And again, I can't speak to if that's like a health concern or if it was more of a rotation thing. That I'm not sure about, but I think you're right. Like, I think that she's going home. She's closer to home. It's going to be a really good move for her. And I'm excited for her to play with a young and scrappy team because, I mean, Atlanta really has all those vibes. And I think they traded Megan Walker to New York. They actually waived Megan Walker, which makes me sad because I think Megan's an incredible addition to any roster. But New York did sign one of my favorite players from 2 years ago, Maureen Johannes. I think she is one of the best point guards I've seen. I mean, she flies under the radar. I don't know if you've gotten a chance to view her.
She definitely flies under the radar.
She's got some of the flashiest passes I've ever seen. And I think New York needs that because, in my opinion, Sabrina shines when she plays the 2. I know.
So a young slew, is that where we're going with? The young slew?
I just think, we see. So, I mean, like, look at what she's been doing. She's been pulling up from half court, 30 feet, 40 feet, 5, she's been, doing her thing. And I think, I mean, Sabrina's an incredible point guard. She played it in Oregon as well. But I think she's going to shine really well at the 2, just because she's one of their best shooters,
Definitely
right?
an elite scorer.
Yeah, an elite scorer. Marine is an incredible scorer too, but to me, she's a facilitator. She
better
sees the
facilitator.
court.
Yeah.
She knows who needs to go to 2.
That
So
court
I'm
vision and
excited to.
IQ.
Yeah, and I thought that was such a miss on New York's part in general, not re-signing her at the start of season and after, I believe, last season. So I'm excited to see her back and her highlights. I watch her overseas highlights, which is, I mean, just some of
That
the
says a lot to her. That speaks to her game a
yeah.
lot.
I mean, she's been dropping people like she's got crazy dimes. Like she plays really well. So I'm excited to see her back in the league too. I mean, just in general. And I think New York could use it because I mean, like New York's they're starting to do something. They're now in the ninth spot. They've won some games.
Yeah, they're looking a little bit.
Okay.
Maybe they're coming together a little bit. Let's not forget about your prediction you made. So maybe
I
they
don't
just
have it,
had.
but
Yeah, we're out of office right now, but
we are out of office.
we don't have our notes, but our sticky notes. But yeah, like maybe they just needed that time at the beginning of the season to really kind of like
Figure
figure
out their
some
flow.
things out and figure out their flow. But they're looking pretty good these
Yeah.
last couple of games. They're looking
Yeah.
really good.
Han Shu has been playing incredibly too. I mean, I haven't watched. I didn't watch a lot of the. Well, yeah, I did watch a little of the. I guess yeah, maybe I have. But the last two games, I've seen her really step up defensively, which is huge because New York needs big. Like they are. I mean, they have Stephanie and they have Natasha, but I feel like they need. I mean, the
Another
W is getting.
piece,
Yeah,
yeah.
they need another piece, and like that. She's playing so well in terms of like they need depth, right? Like you only have two bigs to play through. That's not enough. Like Han has been giving them a lot of depth, which I've been really excited to see. And Barclays, I mean, they love Han. So I know that they've been, really excited
Going
to see her.
crazy out there.
Exactly. See her and play those minutes and all that. I mean, it's been really, really cool to watch.
Yeah, and I mean, just talking about the competitiveness of the league. I mean, I know we've been talking about her for a couple weeks now, and the rookies in general. But I saw a tweet about Jewel Lloyd, telling me that she actually said to Rhyne Howard, like, the league is in good hands, and I think that her making that statement, of course, Ryan is like well deserving of that. But a lot of times people are talking about how like some of the veterans, it's time to give like the rookies or the younger players a chance. And so, I think it's just really good for players like Jewel to be able to recognize and be able to like let them know, just how much of an impact that they have on the league, and that like obviously we talk about the league growing.
Yep.
We have no doubt that like it's going to continue to be more competitive and continue to grow, just as a league in general because of the players that, are going off right now.
Yeah. How many years do you think until Rhyne Howard's an all-star? I'm gonna put you on the hot seat. I got my answer. I'll tell you my answer after.
If she's as consistent as she has been in these first couple of games as a rookie, I'm going to give her 2 years, 3 if we're being generous, honestly. I'm
I
going to
said
give her
2 or
2.
3. I think 2 or 3
Yeah.
years, 100%. She's that player. She's a dog. Like, she gets it. I think she's putting Atlanta on the map even. Like, I mean.
Safe to say.
Let me just say, not never, that's not true, but very rarely did I see that arena even half full. She's bringing out crowds.
Sold out games.
They're selling out games. I mean, and it's a credit to the team as a whole. They're all playing very well, but Rhyne has become like that. She is that
almost
hooper.
the face of the
She's
franchise.
that girl.
Almost.
She is like she is that. She is her. Like, you know what I'm saying? She's doing the damn thing. So I see her in an all-star game in 2 or 3 years easily, like without a doubt. Like honestly, if the league wasn't in a position right now where it's so stacked, like I would see her this year just because she is scoring that. Like she's so dominant from a scoring perspective.
But there's
I
just
think
so much talent
there's
across the board.
There's a lot of talent, but I'm interested to see. I mean, if she makes it this year, I wouldn't be shocked. Like that is just I don't think it's
high
gonna
level
happen
of a
this year.
how high of a level she's playing at right now.
Exactly. So I'm really excited to see where she takes this game because I agree. Like the game isn't good, the league is in good hands, and like Rhyne is one of those players. Like she doesn't say much. And that's
the one thing I love about her. Like, I love the flashy players, the ones that like talk their shit, because I live for the mess. But
Always.
I also have a certain level like of respect, like for those players that really just hoop, like just strictly hoopers. They don't say too much. You might see them get a little hype after and one or something like that, but they really just go out there and play ball, and that's all they're worried about. Like those type of players, I don't know. I have a special place in my heart for those because their game speaks for itself and they let it. And like you can't take anything away from them with that. Like just go out there and hoop.
I know, and definitely. And I think one of those other type of hoopers, she talk a little bit though, so I don't think like I put her in that same category as Rhyme, but I do think she's kind of there. Dana Evans. I mean, did Dallas fumble the bag?
Hello. Is that even a question?
Because your girl's been hooping in Chicago. Hooping.
Put some respect on her name.
Energy, focus, like what she's bringing to that Chicago team. I think they're third in the league right now. And I think in great credit to what Dana Evans has been doing. Obviously, you have your vets and doing their thing, but like Dana Evans has brought a fresh energy anytime she steps on the court. And I think it's what has kept Chicago in the mix in a lot of these tight games, these close games. I know they had a close
pull them out.
Yeah, she had a close game, I think, against Phoenix a couple days or weeks ago. I mean, and I just saw her, like, anytime she comes out, she's like, I don't care. I'll pull up from 30. I'll go through the lane. Like, I'll do whatever you need me to do, and I don't care. Like, I don't care who you are. I don't care who I'm hooping against. Like, you're going to get the best of me every fucking time. So,
yeah.
I'm taking it to you. And I respect that so much because Dana Evans, man, I think another soon-to-be all-star. She's on a stacked roster. I think that's her only that's the only, I would say, negative, right? It's hard to make an all-star team when you're on a stacked roster like that. Because you have so many, I mean, Hall of Famers, honestly. But I think she's going to be that player that's going to, make that all-star roster at some point, pretty early in her career.
Yeah, and it didn't surprise me, honestly, when she came out so strong this season because I had been following her during the off season when she was playing overseas, and like she was putting up crazy numbers. She was in highlights, like they had highlights of her almost after every single game. So I just knew that like she probably was going through that like transition phase last year in her rookie season, but like it's been no surprise to me that she's like come out hooping the way that she has at the beginning of this season.
And we've been seeing, and another fun question for you. We got a lot of half court buzzer beaters this week. On both sides of the game, we had Sabrina, I think, had one last night, Dana Evans over the weekend, and Jordan Poole in game 2 of the NBA Finals. So I got to give it to you. Which one had the best half-court buzzer beater this week?
So part of me wants to say Jordan Poole just because like
it's the finals. I get it.
It's the finals, yeah. But I'm gonna have to go with somebody from the W, and I'm going with Dana. Especially because, and this takes nothing away from Sabrina, but like we just been talking about, like Dana has really been showing out recently, and just to be able to see her really like come into her game and really find herself, it's just super exciting to see her get moments like that. So I think that she's probably gonna have to top my list. Just
that's fine
for like
that's fair.
A full circle. It hasn't. I mean, I'm pretty sure everything hasn't become full circle for her, but like full scope picture. I'm going with Dana.
I get you. I think I got to go with Sabrina. I don't know why. I mean,
that reaction after she made it,
the shrug got me.
Yeah.
It's the shrug. You said, I got to do everything. Fine, I'll do everything. That was what that said to me. And they won that game by 20 points. I think like she and that team are hungry. They are tired of losing.
Maybe they're listening to the podcast. They tired of us talking about them struggling. Right. Hey, I'm with it.
I'm with it. I'm glad you guys are with it too.
Right.
No, that's too good. And another team that I feel like has been, maybe kind of like struggling a little bit. Your Mystics, man, what's going on?
I don't know what's going on. I was so excited at the beginning of the season. I'm like, yo, we didn't get to get our parade in 2019. Like, we're going back. It's time. Like, we're coming out strong. And I don't know what's been going on. Like,
right?
I don't even know if I can say it's chemistry or like trying to figure out, because they do have some new pieces if they're trying to figure out like how to make things click. Of course, Selena De La Donna's back, but like
she's in and out. They're being careful with her minutes.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna pull it out regardless. They're gonna play in the playoffs.
I think they're definitely gonna make the playoffs. No questions asked. But I don't know. I need them to get it together though. I do.
I get you. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think they will. It's so early in the season.
They'll be fine, yeah.
And it's crazy because like last week we're talking about Liberty, like they're struggling. They're dead last in the rankings, and look, they won 3 games. Now they're 9th. They're 1 spot out of a playoff. I mean, we're really early to be talking playoffs, but they're 1 spot out of the playoff cutoff. So anything can turn. Anything, like the cool thing, like we've mentioned, every game matters in the W.
Any given Sunday.
Any given
day.
Anything could change. Anything could change. I think that's like the best part because like then it makes the regular season count, which like in a lot of other leagues in sports,
it doesn't.
Like I don't be watching until like the playoffs. I don't.
Yeah.
Like I'm like ugh. I don't.
And I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of okay with the Mystics struggling right now because I would much rather them. You know how like a team goes like all season almost
Mhm.
undefeated, and then they get to the playoffs and it's like what like a
They
flop.
peak. You got to peak
Yeah.
at the right time.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay with us kind of cruising, maybe
Mhm.
going. We're not going completely under the radar, but having a couple games that people, oh, we lost. Now we're going to be slept on. I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
So I'm not going to complain too much.
that's
I'm just going
fair.
to keep my eyes out.
Listen, I think you're right. Like it's all about peaking at the right time. I feel like coaches talk about that a lot. Because at the end of the day, like you don't want to be playing 100% right now. You want to
Yeah.
be playing 100% in August,
Yeah. Right.
when it starts counting and all that. So I hear that. I think your Mystics are gonna be just fine. I never have a doubt in Tebow and that team and that organization as a whole. I think top to bottom, they're one of the best. So I'm excited to see what they end up pulling out because I
How
don't
they
think
turn it
they're
around
gonna
a little bit.
exactly. I don't think they're gonna miss anything by any means.
Yeah, and I mean, just talking about like full blown support. I mean,
Hmm.
obviously, this isn't the most exciting time, with everything going on, but how these teams and players have really been, full on supporting, beat Brittney Griner.
Hmm.
It's been over 100 days now,
Hmm.
since she's been wrongfully detained in Russia, and it's just honestly been so like heartwarming to see so
Hmm.
much of the support, from
Yeah.
across both leagues.
Hmm.
Honestly,
And definitely, and I know we spoke with her agent, Lindsay, from Wasserman, and I think one of the biggest things is this is not a like WNBA issue, and I think it's like what we're seeing now. This is a basketball family issue. This is a basketball family that is really coming together on both from the NBA to the WNBA to high school to college. You have all levels coming together to get the messaging out there to bring Brittney home. I think we are seeing it in the NBA finals. We're seeing it from what's being shared across platforms from a lot of different people. And one of the biggest things that you guys can do as listeners is really tap into that wearebg.org, tap into local state representatives and contacting them, as well as signing the petition that is also available on that site. I think, listen, at the end of the day, like we are all one basketball family. This community is small but big.
strong but mighty.
Strong but mighty. Yeah,
Well, no,
exactly.
small but mighty. Small
Small
but
but
mighty.
mighty. But it's funny because it's small, but it's not. Like there's so many
There's so
across
much reach.
there's so much reach. So text a friend, a family member, whoever it is in your network, maybe even outside of this basketball world, and get them involved and help. Let's all help bring BG home because I think it's been really awesome to see what everyone on all sides of this basketball community have been doing to get the message out there. All the way from Carmelo Anthony to Stack. I know Matt Barnes did something, all the way through to what the WNBA players are doing. The Phoenix Mercury down having the BG42 court. Even the Phoenix Suns had it
Had
during
that, yeah.
their playoff run. So we're seeing a lot. But let's all do our part individually as well and try and get the message out there. Let's bring her home.
Yep.
Hopefully we get her home pretty soon. But now, before we let y'all go today, we got to play a little game. We're gonna turn the page here now. We're gonna play a little game that we like to call Slam Up, and we got to see a little bit of this in action with our Slam All Americans. You see Flau'jae
The
with
most
the
hilarious
push
shit
and pee.
ever. She
Lauren
literally
did
just
not
like,
know. He pushes the pee. He pushes the pee. I don't think I've ever
Yo.
laughed so hard in my entire
I
life.
watched that. I can't even tell you how many times I watched that. Like,
It's too good.
they are hilarious.
They're Flau'jae and Janiyah.
Flau'jae and Janiyah.
They need their own show. But we're gonna play our own
Literally.
version of it. We don't have note cards and we're not in person. But what we have done is we've written down the 5 things we're gonna basically like try and spell out for the other to guess. So let's each go one at a time and
Okay.
we'll start from there. So Jay, you wanna go with the first one? Oh God, I'm
Okay,
nervous.
I'll start.
Oh man.
All
Okay.
right. Boy, oh, killing me softly.
Oh,
Oh
Beyonce?
Yes, I was about to say.
I know. I was just kidding. I was
You
like
had for
trying to give
suspense,
you
dramatic suspense. I was like, no way you don't know this.
I know. I love Beyonce way too much. And my girl, one of my best friends, Rena, if she knew I didn't know that, I don't think she would let me be friends with her anymore. So I know. Queen Bey. Anyways. Okay. Next one. What is it? Big Four? Big Four.
Flage. Too easy.
Always.
Too easy.
Duh. Too easy. Too easy. Too
Okay.
easy.
Oh man. If you see these dogs in your front yard, just know I'm upstairs going hard.
I know exactly what you're talking about, but I can't remember. Give me another. What?
What's up, baby? Take me out to dinner. Hey, yo.
Oh my God! It's
You should know this. You should
know.
Okay.
You know what it is? You're gonna say it, and I'm gonna be pissed. Give me a second.
Okay. Hold on. Ariana Grande. What's up, baby?
It's a person saying it, right?
Yes. It's like a huge New York thing. I don't even know where it started from, but TikTok.
Oh, I know who it is. It's the account.
It's just a saying. It's just a saying. What does he say after I'm upstairs going crazy? Just know I'm upstairs going crazy.
City. Oh my God. It's gonna bug me so much. I know the account. I follow them. It's like just say it. Just say it.
Bing bong.
Bing bong.
Bing bong.
Wait, who say it?
I don't
Who
even
is
know.
it?
Oh wait, no, that was a word.
Oh, it's Bing Bong.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I don't know the name. I don't know the name of the person.
You should have just said New York. What is it like? What the Knicks did? Actually, no, I wouldn't have gone it either. But I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah,
that's
that
fair.
one might have been a little bit too hard.
It's all good. Okay. Now, what we're doing, but the Fitz version of it.
League Fits. No, Survival of the Fitted.
There we go.
Podcast. I'm like League Fits.
Yep. League Fits. I know.
Duh. Okay.
Duh.
Okay. She has a statue. We were taking pictures
Asia
of
Wilson.
it. Yes.
That one was easy. I got that one in a heartbeat. Okay, when you're dribbling and you look like you about to go for it, you stop a second and then you go.
Hezzy.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so they just brought these back. You use it to like create memories, and as soon as you press the button and like people post for it, it comes out like it prints immediately.
Polaroid?
Yes.
Okay. I was like, what? Okay,
I couldn't figure out how to say it without saying camera. I'm like,
I know.
You post for it.
Right? Okay. When you cross up a player and they fall.
Make
what
them touch
we
earth.
say?
Touch earth. Hashtag touch earth.
You got it.
Okay. She. Oh, why am I blanking on a million things that I can say? Ace. Layla's mom.
Don Stewart. Oh no. Candace Parker.
Yes. I'm like, I want to say like she just won a national championship. I don't know. It was so many things. I'm like,
You can go so many different routes.
Literally,
with
I'm
it.
like, where am I going with this? Y'all can see, obviously, I didn't prepare enough for this. I wrote down the things, and then that was it. Last time I thought about it.
No, you made it. You got here. That's all that matters. Okay, your team.
Washington Mystics.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
So
All
wait,
right, so-
you won because you.
Yeah,
I got
only because
4.
you didn't get the Bing Bong one. That one, I might have to give you another one because that one, I was like, it could either be the person or it could be
No,
the thing.
no, I lost. It's fine. I can take my loss and
Take
defeat.
your L.
Take my L. I'm gonna come back ready next time. I'm gonna make yours harder. I feel like I made yours real easy.
Yeah, you definitely might have made it. I might have been a little bit too hard on you. But the Bing Bong one, I just thought that you would know, just living in New York.
Yeah, no.
It was
I
a different way,
that one.
a million different ways you could go with that. That's it. That's all.
100%. Well, thank you guys for tuning in for another episode. We'll be back next week with more things to talk about. But hey, signing off. Appreciate y'all, and we'll see you soon.
Peace.